Are you looking to finally start writing that fiction book you've planned for the past few years? Not sure where to start or how you can attack your first fiction masterpiece? Then you'll want to hear from an old friend of the channel and fiction author, Katie Reed, otherwise known as Kim here on YouTube. Stay tuned. Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale, where you'll learn tips and strategies for publishing your own books. Have you been sitting on an idea for a fiction book and not sure where to start? Well, my old pal Kim has some excellent advice for you today. And once you wrap up your fiction book, you're going to need a rock-solid game plan for launching that book. Enter the bestseller book launch checklist. Don't wait until your fiction book is done. Get your hands on the bestseller book launch checklist at selfpublishingwithdale.com/checklist. It's been a long time since I've had her on this channel, so I felt it was high time I brought her back. Kim here has returned to the channel, and she's brought with her words of encouragement and direction in your fiction writing. Today, I asked her, what are the first best steps for a fiction writing newbie? And here's what she had to say.
Usually with any creative endeavor, my biggest advice is to just start. Just go do. Just start. Don't sit there and get caught up in the planning. Just start. For fiction writing, just start would mean make an outline for your story. Because otherwise you'll get lost, you'll get writer's block, you're gonna quit, you're gonna lose your motivation when you don't know what's going on in things. And so my best advice to someone who's like, okay, I'm gonna write this, I got this cool idea, I want to write this cool book. It's an epic fantasy, it's a space opera, it's pirates, whatever. It's sit down, make an outline of your complete story, beginning, middle, and end, so that you can write it. So you can start. And I think that's usually my go-to advice for that, just because if you have a map of where you're going to go, you're not going to get lost. And getting lost is what happens to a lot of people when they realize how hard writing is. Because it seems easy. You just sit there and you type out a cool story. Yippee skippy, this is great. No, that's not that at all. And so I always say, okay, sit down, figure out what your story is, line it up, and then start it and write it.
Yeah. Don't
get stuck in the outline. Don't get stuck doing that, because then you'll never truly start. So make an outline and then just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, the just do it part makes sense to me. However, something that I get asked quite a bit is, how long should my fiction book be?
That is where knowing your audience is going to come in handy.
Okay.
You can start with yourself. That's what I did. I was like, well, what length do I like to read? If you're thinking of writing, you've probably read a lot of books, so you have a general idea of if you like bigger stuff or if you like tiny things or something in between. So that's where I would start. I say, what length do I like to read? And go from there. And a lot of times when you're writing, especially with a first draft, it's going to end up longer or shorter than you intended. That can be fixed in revising and editing. Don't panic. Don't panic. Maybe that's my advice. Don't panic. But I think that knowing how long it should be is going to depend on your audience and who you want to try to get to read your book.
Yeah.
And if you've got a genre, like a specific genre in mind, I'm going to write an epic fantasy. Look at epic fantasy books. How long are they? How long are the popular ones? How long are the well-rated, well-reviewed ones? And what are people saying about it? Love the book, but it was too long. Would have wanted more. That kind of thing. So do a little bit of market research and in the genre and see what's popular, and either do that or do the exact opposite. Because sometimes the exact opposite, you know what I mean? It's like some people, that's the new fresh thing is I wrote an epic fantasy, but it's only 20,000 words long. I don't know how you would do that, but you know what I mean? So just look at what's happening in the world and in that industry and in that genre, and see what's working and what's not working, and then just look back at what you like to read and go from there. That's where it's
very good. So it's paying attention sometimes to what's successful right now in the reviews that they're getting.
Yep, and why.
And why.
So because is it successful because of XYZ, or is it, you know what I mean? To kind of reverse engineer it a little bit so that you can make your own success.